Hello, everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to Big Sam's Long Balls podcast with Chris and Dan today. Two for the price of one tonight.
Hello.
Yeah, you jammy little buggers. So
Lucky them.
well, lucky them. So this was game week 4, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the games that we've seen today. Obviously, there's some more games to come tomorrow, so we might do a little prediction at the end of this video. But I think Chris, we should probably jump in with your mob, the
The
Arsenal.
start of the half-five game. Lovely.
Yeah.
So Arsenal taking on Fulham. So both teams were unbeaten until now, and then now the only one team remains unbeaten in this. No, really tough game. Fulham put up a really good fight. I thought they're quite impressive.
Bit jammy
Obviously
at the
mixed.
end, weren't you? Bit jammy, the old
Like
the
no,
old
we
the
were
old
absolutely.
hand.
There was no handball. There was no handball at all. I don't know what they were checking. Obviously, Mitrovic getting his 100th goal. I just knew as soon as I saw that bloke playing, I was like, he's going to score against us. And it was a pretty shocking mistake from Gabriel for the goal, but he did make up for it with the winner. But no, I was really impressed with Fulham.
Mm.
I mean, pretty much first half was just pretty much us just
Mm.
passing and moving and just not shooting, just trying to walk it in the net, which is always our problem
With a
because no
nice
one ever
IT
takes a
crowd
shot.
reference there.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, we got the win, and I think it's quite a significant one. It proves that we've got the mentality now to even if we're going down in the second half, that we can come back. And the team seems to be really together. You can see that with Zinchenko joining in the celebrations, even though he's not on the not on the bench or on the field. He
Mm.
just everyone seems to be on board with this Arteta project, and long may it continue. I say, bring on Villa on Wednesday. I'm looking forward now to watching Arsenal games. I'm looking forward to playing, and there's a real atmosphere now at the Emirates as well, which has sort of been missing for a few seasons. But there's a real togetherness with the club. Um, so yeah, no, it's all looking very rosy. But then I could come back here on next week, and we could have lost to Villa and lost to United quite easily in the space of a week. But I can't see that happening.
Are those your
Um,
next two games, Villa and
yeah,
United?
got Villa at home, and then we're away at Old Trafford, I believe. So
Come on,
yeah,
Stevie G. Stevie G is tricky.
that's the sort of game that we could slip. I mean,
I,
today's sort of game we could have slipped up on easily. I mean, a few
mm,
years ago we would
oh
have
yeah,
lost that game. We'd have lost that game.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, if it was Emery or maybe even early Arteta days, we'd have lost that game.
yeah. I
But
mean, you can
Bella's,
definitely see
mm,
the improvement that
mm,
Arteta has implemented. I mean, I did a prediction video the other day, and I said 3-1
mm.
Arsenal,
Oh,
and
okay, close.
I said it would be a tricky game, and I said Mitrovic will score,
Yeah,
um, but
yeah.
just
It
needed
was
Arsenal
causing
to
no
score a
problems.
third.
I was quite surprised of how sort of it was quite like a fiery game. It was quite pumped up, and I always thought Fulham would be quite a nice team, but they were quite, they used some dirty tactics. They were quite, aggressive, and I was like, oh, it's quite spiky from Fulham. So I think
They,
they might actually do quite well this
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. Well, they were a little bit against us on the first day, and they
Yeah.
battered us really. Unlike they physically bullied us. There were times that
Mm.
game where I saw their midfielders literally physically pick up Jordan Henderson and throw him on the floor.
Yeah.
So that they've
Yeah.
got a bit of a nastiness about them. But yeah,
Yeah. I
like you
couldn't
say,
believe
I think you
it.
kind of probably need that. Um,
Mm.
and then when you
Definitely.
compare that to another team that came up, Brentford, not Brentford, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
Bournemouth today.
Oh, Bournemouth. Well, let's talk about
Um,
Bournemouth if you want
we
to.
yeah, no, we can talk
What?
about that because
Yeah.
yeah, obviously I'm happy. We've just battered someone 9-0. It's brilliant. It's
Right.
great.
Good for goal difference. Good for goal difference.
However, there are, I'm a little bit worried because our owner was there today. We desperately
Mm.
need a new midfielder. Jurgen
Mm.
Klopp's come out in the media, I think, yesterday. Uh, Twitter went wild. I don't know if you saw online or anything, but basically he admitted that Liverpool haven't signed a midfielder because of him. It's his mistake, and Liverpool are going to
Yeah.
go out. So now everyone's getting really excited. Frankie De Jong's heavily linked. Although that's
Yeah.
total bollocks to me. But so everyone's getting really, really excited. And then our owner turns up and we win 9-0. So the
Oh,
likelihood
mate.
of us signing a midfielder, in my opinion, now goes down because, the
Mm.
owner goes, you don't need any signings. Um, but no, it was great. It was a really, really good performance. To think that
Yeah.
Liverpool could score 9 and Mo Salah doesn't score a single
Mate.
goal and misses
Fantasy,
like an open goal.
fantasy football points. He was my captain this week, Mo Salah. I was absolutely gutted when I saw that score. I thought here we go. But no, he didn't get an assist or a goal, did he? He was literally
I don't think he
no,
did.
no.
No, I think Firmino scored two. I think he might have got three assists today. Even I mean, he was probably the guy
Yeah,
to captain. But yeah, look, it was great. It was a really good performance because it's been shit start to the
Dan,
season.
do you think Nunes is holding you back? Can I just say, is that the key? Is that the
Mate,
key? Is he
what we missed away at Man United was a good old bloody headbutt.
man,
After watching that
yeah.
performance, I understand
Mm,
now why
mm,
Nunes is going around headbutting people if that's what he's putting up with. But it was night and day. I mean, like,
uh,
Bournemouth, the
mm,
likelihood is they probably will be playing back in the Championship again next season. They can't
mm,
defend at all. They
no,
got battered from City. They got battered by you, didn't they? They lost
mm,
9-0 today. And it could have been more. And that's the bad thing. Liverpool could have easily scored about 14, 15 goals today. Um,
crazy.
so you
Yeah.
look at it and you think, we've got about 9, 10 players out injured at the moment. If Nunes was playing, if Jota was
Mm,
playing, you think
mm,
like bloody hell, it could have been even worse. So it's
yeah.
exciting. It's exciting as a Liverpool fan, but yeah, I do desperately want to see a midfielder. Rather not see Tillemans. You can have Tillemans if you want.
I'll take
Casado from Brighton would
yeah.
be my choice. But yeah, no,
Mm,
yeah, good. It was a good game for Liverpool. Obviously, I don't know where Scott Parker really goes from here. Um,
no. Even
9-0.
Dominic Solanke was sort of just standing there like, oh no, this
You know
is
what?
bad.
Solanke was their best
Mm,
player second half. He came on and
really?
yeah,
Oh,
he looked good. He took on our defenders
mm,
and everything. But that I said before the start of the game, if Scott Parker, obviously Scott Parker isn't watching big stand long balls because I gave him a tip of how to beat us. And I was like, I don't know the Bournemouth squad inside and out. I'm not an expert
yeah.
on them, but I was like, to take points off Liverpool,
Mm,
just sit deep, two banks of four and hit us on the counter attack, hit in the channels where Trent, is exposed with any
mm.
pace. And they just didn't. They wanted to play out from the back every single time.
Oh,
They, they,
really?
they never
Mm,
really went long. So yeah, it was great from Liverpool. It was a great performance, but
mm.
I think you've got to question Scott Parker's tactics a little bit in that game. When you're getting pulled apart, just go long. You know that Liverpool can't cope with that.
Yeah. If they're trying to outplay Liverpool, there's something like you say, there's something wrong because yeah, if you're going man for man trying to match them, there's only going to be one winner, isn't there? So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and I was hoping Man United were going to do that. I was hoping Ten Hag was going to
Mm,
continue to, but he never did. He obviously more.
mm,
If you wanted to beat Liverpool, take points off Liverpool, pragmatic
yeah.
approach every time is going to cause us problems. And while today was great and I'm going to enjoy it, of course I am. We've just won fucking 9-0. It's great, but
Only
the,
three
the,
points at the end of the day, still,
it's
isn't
3 points. The 3 points we desperately
it?
needed. The big
Yeah, yeah.
test is Newcastle in the week. They're not going to play
Oh
like
yeah.
that. They'll
Mm.
sit deep. They'll hit on the counter. And Saint Maximum up against Trent Alexander-Arnold could be a bit of a nightmare, that one. So we'll see what the
Mm.
tactics are in that game. So yeah, bigger tests ahead really. But yeah,
Yeah.
probably quite damaging I think for Bournemouth today.
Yeah. I think so. It's not looking good. But for a team that does look good, do you think Man United are back, Dan? Are they
Oh, for
back?
God's sake, looking good. They got a scabby win off us.
I know. They got a
No,
jammy
no, no.
1-0 win. It was pretty, yeah, I think Southampton, yeah. I mean, look, Southampton's not the easiest place to go to, but they've obviously got a away win. But it was pretty even from what I saw. So just one of
It,
those games where it was just a scrappy 1-0 win, wasn't it, for United?
it was, and fair play to Man United.
Mm,
You take a scrappy 1-0 win away from home.
mm,
My problem with some of the overreaction to United beating us, and look, they deserved to beat us. They were much better, but Liverpool were awful. I could have,
yeah.
beaten Liverpool that day. And I'm atrocious at football. It's horrendous to what we'll do it on this podcast.
Yeah. It was,
Um,
yeah.
people will definitely unsubscribe watching me play football, but
Mm,
it was just so easy against Liverpool. So I thought, away at Southampton, they're not going to make it as simple as what we did with the high line. And to be fair
yeah.
to Man United, it was a good goal, good for Bruno Fernandes because I think he's been quite poor for a while. He was good
Mm,
against us, so they probably should have been sent off. And he's been good again, so that's probably the first time he's been good in back-to-back games for about a
yeah. It's
year.
been a long time. Yeah,
So,
he's gone
and obviously
missing for a
again, no
long.
Ronaldo, uh,
Yeah, no Maguire.
no Maguire, Casemiro. coming in. That's a banging
Mm,
sign in that, annoyingly.
mm.
So yeah, no, United do look good. But again, I thought it was quite a poor performance throughout most of the game
Yeah.
um, for them. But again, you take a 1-0 win. I don't really know what to make of Southampton, to be perfectly honest. You're not a fan, are you? As you revealed in that last podcast we did together.
Yeah,
So
well, you know, I
yeah,
don't think
so
many people saw that, so they won't. There'll be no Southampton fans won't get angry at me. It's okay.
but no,
Yeah,
a good 1-0 win for
yeah.
Manchester United. In terms of are they back? I
Are
don't
they
know.
back?
I don't know what that means.
I
In
don't
in
know.
terms of Manchester United,
Hmm.
I I still don't think they'll finish top four.
No, no, I can't. I can't see it. I think Ten Hag's got such a massive job, and I don't think. I don't know. There's no like what the signings they're sort of linked with. They're always trying to get that Anthony for ridiculous money,
100
and
mil, 100 mil for Anthony.
is it worth it? They're trying to get Memphis Depay, I saw, and I thought they've had him
Yeah,
before, and that didn't really work out. So I'm not
weird.
really sure where they go from here.
The winger
But
from PSV.
yeah, oh yeah, is it Gakpo or
Yeah,
Gakpo?
something like that. I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so I thought I'd let you
Yeah,
do
I
that.
said it. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I don't know. And it looks like Ronaldo's going to be out as well, but that could be a good thing for United. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's not
I mean
not
it's
too
hard to tell, isn't it? It's only four
bad.
games in so far. So,
Mm.
but yeah, two wins on the trot for Manchester United. It will do them the world of good. I don't know who they've got next coming
Uh,
up against, but obviously going away to Southampton,
yeah.
it's a fairly tough game. Who else plays today? Just having a look on here. We got
We had
Brentford
Brentford.
Everton.
Yeah, I
Brentford
saw the
Everton
highlights of that.
1-1.
Brentford pretty much just absolutely dominated. I think Brentford hit the post and the crossbar about numerous times, and I think
Mm,
Everton were quite lucky with that. I think that's probably a better point for Everton, obviously going away to
much better.
Brentford
I in my
and getting a
prediction, I,
win.
I literally said I think Brentford will probably wipe the floor with this Everton
Mm.
team. I've put down a 2-0 win, so a little bit of a shock that
Yeah, yeah,
Everton got something. I think Gordon scored, didn't he?
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
another 10 mil to his price tag.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. If Chelsea want to play it, yeah.
if Man United can't get Anthony from Ajax, maybe they can get Anthony from Everton. You know,
Prices for players are insane.
the prices are ridiculous. What 75 million for Fofana for Leicester?
Oh man, yeah,
Uh,
no, yeah,
60 million plus for Anthony. It's bonkers. But yeah, probably
yeah.
a better point for Everton. I don't really know what to
Mm.
make of Everton really this season. From what I've seen, I think they've played okay from
Mm.
time to time, but yeah, the results aren't really good, and I do worry about them. Even being a Liverpool fan, I do worry about
Yeah,
them. Obviously,
yeah,
Richarlison's gone. Gordon looks like I think Gordon will go before the end
yeah,
of the window. I know they've just brought in Neil Mopay from
yeah.
Brighton, so he's a good player. I like him, but he's not. I suppose when you watch him at
I know
Brighton, he's not a great
yeah,
finisher.
when you're relying on like him and a Wobie up top and players like that, it's
It's
not,
not great.
yeah, it's not
It's not.
great.
It's
Yeah.
not great. It's not what Everton need. I think. I
Mm.
think they're probably banking on this money coming in for Gordon and going out and buying someone. Obviously,
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin's out injured.
yeah,
To be fair, he had a bit of a shocking season last season.
yeah. I'm
So
surprised they got Connor Cody, didn't they?
that
They
was
got some
weird. That's a really
signing, some
strange.
bizarre
It's
one.
like a
Yeah,
loan deal, isn't it?
yeah. And I was like,
I
what's
don't
going on
get
there?
that. Don't get that at all. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, yeah, unfortunate for Brentford, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be,
yeah.
I
They're good
really enjoy
players.
watching Brentford's.
Mm.
I'd love a cheeky little bid for Ivan Toney at the end of this window for
I don't know why
Liverpool.
Man United should go for Tony. I'm surprised someone like that
Well,
them is
well, I don't
sort of
understand why
got.
Chelsea don't. They need a
Well,
striker
someone should strike. He's
massively.
like a proper out and out striker. And I think he's
Surely,
proven it as well. And yeah,
surely that money would be better suited going for someone
mm.
like him rather than a Gordon. Hold the fort, Chris. I need to let the dog out. It's very
That's fine.
professional, this podcast.
Not a euphemism, is it? I hope he's not going toilet. But yeah, no. Obviously Everton, Everton. I reckon Frank still will be first manager Saturday. So much as we care and we want our beloved Everton to do well, but yeah. uh, All I know is that top of the league after 4 games for Arsenal. and that's a long time since that's happened. 18 years. Spend as much time as I like doing that. But yeah. Who else is impressive is Martin Odegaard, player of the season already. Early prediction.
God, you
It's going to
boring
be
our subscribers with all this Arsenal talk.
telling them that Odegaard's going to get player of the season at the end of the year. Anyway, carry.
Christ, the delusional
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
right. So
yeah.
what were we talking about? We were talking about Brentford, Everton.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Better point for Everton.
Yeah.
Obviously they need. I think they need to invest heavily, and I don't think they can at the moment because I think they're under investigation from FFP, or they've been
Yeah.
looked at quite heavily. So I think maybe that because they do have money, Everton, and they spent a lot of money over the past number of years. So maybe they're waiting for this sort of Gordon transfer to go through before they can go out and reinvest. But either way, it doesn't look good for Everton at this
No.
moment. Brighton beat Leeds
Brighton.
1-0.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic win for Brighton. They've surprised me this year because I thought they would struggle because obviously losing, Neil Maupay and Cucurella and Basuma just hasn't affected them at all, really, has it? In fact,
No.
they find these little gems of players and they just
Mm,
absolutely, yeah, they're sitting quite comfortably by the top as well, aren't they? And yeah, I think Graham Potter's just doing an absolutely fantastic job over there, just tactically and beating Leeds. I mean, Leeds with that Rodrigo has been on fire and managing to keep a clean sheet, managing to keep him quiet. It's just been
mm,
very impressive. So
yeah.
yeah, no, fair play to Brighton. I have huge respect for them for
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they do.
big fan. I think we're both big fans of Brighton and
Yeah,
Potter.
yeah,
I predicted a 1-1 here.
yeah.
To be
Oh,
fair, after Leeds' performance against Chelsea last week, I couldn't see Brighton keeping a clean sheet against them. Obviously, they did, so
mm,
brilliant to them. Um, yeah,
yeah,
I kind of like both teams really. Obviously, we've spoken about Brighton
yeah,
quite a bit on this podcast from time to time, and spoken about our sort of admiration of Graham Potter, but. Leeds under Jesse Marsh, I think, have done really well because neither of us were fans of Bielsa or Bielsa Ball.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but from what I've seen of Leeds under him, is he seems to have kept that sort of attacking, aggressive flair, but he's also sort of made them more solid at the back. So I can't see a situation where they'll be struggling like last season. Um,
Mm.
moving on, we had Chelsea 2, Leicester City 1.
No,
What you think?
10-man Chelsea. I know.
10 man.
I
Was
know.
it Gallagher that got sent off?
Yeah, Gallagher got
Yeah,
sent off in the first half, and then I thought Leicester surely would have enough to sort of at least get a point from this game, but
they're bad, aren't
the
they?
man Raheem Sterling. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Leicester. Is it Rodgers down or is it the
It's
team
always
or
Rodgers. If
it's
you
always
want to know
Rodgers?
what's wrong with football in general, the answer is Brendan Rodgers. No, I don't know.
Hmm.
I just think they obviously haven't been able to
Yeah,
invest for whatever reason,
yeah,
whether the money hasn't been there or I mean, I'm guessing that's why they haven't
yeah.
invested. And it looked
They're
like
losing
obviously
players.
Tillemans could be going, Madison could be
Hmm.
going. Probably for a little while now, but no one has actually come in for these players. So I think they were probably banking on selling
Yeah,
Tillemans for about 30 odd million, either last summer or potentially this summer. But obviously now his valuation's gone down because he's available for
yeah.
free. So I kept seeing rumors that he could be available for like 16 million pound, which is
Yeah, I
just
think that's what Arsenal were waiting for. I
yeah,
mean, Arsenal linked with him the whole window, and I think Leicester were just quoting us about sort of 30 million, and we're just saying, well, why would we pay that when we know he's going to be free at the end of
mm,
next year? So we might as well just wait until either Leicester just panic right at the end and say, okay, have him for 18, like you say, or we'll just wait till the end of next year and get him
mm,
for nothing. So, but I
yeah,
think, yeah, I think on personal terms and everything looks like it's been agreed with Arsenal, but obviously just wait. It's just a waiting game now. So
yeah,
yeah, I think the money they're getting for Fofana is crazy. So they surely could invest that 75 million into something. Because relying on like a 30 whatever year old Jamie Vardy up top, it it's not. You can't just always rely on that, can you? Now, I mean, it's just a bit of a
no.
yeah,
And I also think yeah, I think if Leicester do get the 75 million for final, which I think the deal has pretty much been agreed, isn't it?
yeah. I
So
think
it
it
would
looks
be a
like
bit
it.
of a kick in the teeth for Leicester fans to sell him to Chelsea and then lose to them in like the space of 24
Yeah,
hours.
yeah,
But Yeah, it's a lot of
Mm,
money. I'd imagine it goes straight back into the team. And to be fair, Leicester do have like a really good reputation of a little bit like what Brighton are doing, where they're just finding these gems,
mm,
probably quite cheap as well. So I do think Leicester's recruitment is or has been one of the best
mm,
over a number of years. They've probably been banking on sort of selling Tillemans and potentially Madison as well to bump that up. But yeah, I do worry about them a little bit. It doesn't
yeah.
seem right at the moment. Obviously, Rodgers just looks like this
Mm,
sort of manager who not under pressure in the sense where I think Leicester would sack him, but he looks like he could walk.
mm,
I don't think he will though. He's too slimy for
yeah.
that. He's got no class. Um,
But but the Sterling's obviously proved he scored his first two goals anyway for Chelsea, so it looks like
yeah, it was only
could
going
be
to be
done.
a matter of time, wasn't it, for
Yeah, yeah.
Raheem?
And it's good position in play. One was a tap in and one was quite a good edge of the
Mm,
box, sort of top corner. So
yeah,
yeah,
he's good.
both pretty impressive goals. Both
Would
pretty Sterling-esque goals.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you had to, yeah.
Before we skip past Chelsea, what are your thoughts on Conor Gallagher? Obviously had a great season last year. He's I think he started the last two games for Chelsea. He was pretty poor
Mm.
last week. They all were really when they got battered by Leeds. Get sent off in the first half.
Yes, it's not been great for him. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he needs another loan move somewhere this year. I don't think he's got what it takes to be sort of first team for Chelsea at the moment. Obviously, he's proved that he got sent off today. And I don't know. I think he should go back to Palace maybe for another year, get another loan move to sort of try and cement himself a bit more.
Mm.
Because I don't think he's doing Chelsea any favours having him in the team at the moment. So
But he's
yeah,
starting though, isn't he? He's starting. So
he
would that
is
not show
starting.
that they rate him quite highly?
I suppose, but I don't know. From what I've seen in the games, I mean, obviously he got sent off, and then I saw him when they did pre-season against Arsenal and we beat them. He just was pretty much anonymous in that game, and you just completely forgot he was there. And it's sort of but I don't know. I would move him on just for a season or so. Do you reckon they'll stick with him? Do you reckon he'll come good, or
Uh,
I don't know?
yeah, I think he will come good. I really like him. If they want to
Mm.
get rid, we'll take him. We'll happily have him. Goals, energy from midfield. Yeah, I sort of get what you mean. He's had like a really poor start, hasn't he, this season
Yeah.
for Chelsea? When I've seen him, it almost looks like a bit of a result of trying too hard. Whereas,
Mm.
at Palace,
Too far.
everything looked quite natural. Whereas now, perhaps
Mm.
a bit more pressure on him that he's playing for Chelsea. Yeah, I'd say he's a very, very good player. It would
Mm.
be very interesting to see what they do with him because I think under the old regime under Roman, he probably would have just gone out on loan anyway. Again, which is what Chelsea sort of
Yeah.
tended to do really under Roman, just sign like brilliant young players and then never really play them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens under Tuchel and Todd Bowley, whether
Mm.
actually they give younger players like that more time to develop or whether they're the ruthless Chelsea that we've seen for the past, well, nearly 20 years, really, where
Mm.
young players tend not to be given an opportunity. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Gallagher for himself would want to for the World Cup. He'd want to be, you know, being in and around the team when he want to be selected. So I think being in I don't know, underperforming at Chelsea might not get him that move. Although I suppose with Southgate's mentality of thinking if you don't play for a big team, he tends to pick them, doesn't he? So if you're playing for one of the top six sides, he tends to pick
he does,
the
yeah.
English talent there. So maybe he's just got as good as enough England call up playing for Chelsea
It
there. So.
probably would be more likely to be a regular in that England squad, sadly,
Mm.
playing averagely for Chelsea than he would out of
Yeah, yeah,
Palace. But, to be fair, he did make it into the England squad quite a fair few
yeah.
times last season.
Mm.
Southgate out anyway on this podcast. So, and
Lovely, lovely.
And then the last game that I
Mm.
got really excited about was Man City 4, Palace 2.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I have a lot of things to say about this game because I was not happy with the officiating.
Oh,
Like,
really?
take my Liverpool hat off and being biased.
Mm.
This meeting will end in 10 minutes. This is
Oh,
outrageous. I've got a little
oh,
clock. Okay, all
oh,
right.
really?
Thank
Oh,
you.
quick.
I'll have to hurry
Yeah,
up.
they're clearly bored
Um,
of us.
they are. But yeah,
Yeah,
quickly talking
yeah.
about City, fair play, Haaland hat trick. They came back.
Hmm.
However, the officials hang your bloody heads in shame. Palace are 2-0 up. Ederson has
Yep.
the ball. He just rolls it out. Palace score a third. They go 3-0 up. It's incredible.
Mm.
Suddenly, it doesn't count. Why is that? Can someone explain to me why is that? I didn't see the game live. I've only seen like bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Um, you know, if it was, I was looking for it. Was he offside? Was it something like that? But the commentator wasn't saying anything like that. There was no offside. It was just Edison just rolled the ball out. Palace got
Mm.
it, scored, and then suddenly it was like, no, 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 just, and it was like, okay. And then before the Haaland comeback show, he
Yeah.
kicks the Palace player square in the
In the
face,
head. Yeah, yeah,
in
the
the
high
head.
boot.
How is that not? How is that not a
Didn't get
red
anything.
card?
Didn't even get a yellow
Didn't
for
even
it.
get a
Just
yellow.
nothing.
Not
No,
having
no.
that. And Manchester United as well.
Mm.
Struck Scott McTominay's hand 3 times in the penalty area. Should have been a penalty. There's at least 2 times now where United
Mm.
have been given some dodgy decisions, and I'll tell you why. It's because of that bald-headed bastard Howard Webb. He's back. He's back in the game, and now that he's back, those Manchester clubs are getting the rub of the green,
Yeah.
specifically the red half of Manchester. But yeah, no, I did. Fair
Yeah.
play to City. They were brilliant. 2-0
They
down.
showed grit as well. Yeah, they
Um,
did.
but
Mm.
some of the officiating, come on, come
Mm.
on. Although that's twice now where City have had to come from behind. Obviously, last week they were getting battered by Newcastle at times, and obviously, and it's brilliant that they can keep coming
Yeah.
back. But I suppose maybe it's a
Yeah,
little bit of a worry that they keep going behind.
yeah, no, that is true. I mean, going down what they went 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes, John Stones scoring an own goal, and
Mm,
then yeah, and then obviously conceding the second. Um, Obviously, I think Palace probably wouldn't want the half time to come, but then second half they let Bernardo Silva sort of just cut in, and it was quite a Palace could have closed him down more for the first
mm,
goal, and then that was
yeah,
obviously the start. Just that first goal, as soon as that goes in, they're just
you can just
cover
feel
up
it.
for it. You can just feel that there's going to be two, and then as soon as they got two, you knew it's going to be a winner. Haaland did look pumped and up for it as well. So yeah, he's already looking like a potential golden boot. Amount of chances he's getting. I mean, he had some headers. He was just they're just trying to find him in the box. He had
Mm.
you know so he's obviously the outlet, but yeah, no, City just showing that's what champions do, though, isn't it? When you're down like that. So
It's almost
yeah,
like they do it deliberately just to have a bit of entertainment, like
yeah,
a
maybe they
lion
just
playing
need
with its
to.
prey. Just yeah,
Yeah,
we'll give you a couple of goals, and then we'll put you in your place. But
yeah,
I do
mm,
like that teams are potentially having a go at City a little bit more
mm,
and going after them and thinking that we can get at them. And
yeah.
it's
Palace
actually
had
when
no Zaha. Even Palace were
mm,
without Zaha and a few other players as well,
yeah,
and they still managed to
yeah,
take it.
I don't see City as this incredible force that perhaps I used to. Obviously, they're a ridiculously good team. Of course, they are. I wouldn't suggest they weren't, but I do think they are a little bit vulnerable. I do think you can get at
Mm,
them and score goals. Obviously, it's impossible probably to keep your foot on their throat for 90 minutes, but I've noticed that when teams actually go at them, City make mistakes and things like that.
mm,
Suddenly they look a little bit, and it's only when teams sit back and defend. And then once you do that against City, they break you down and they score. So if
yeah.
somehow if teams are able to just go at City from minute one and keep that going for the full 90
Mm.
minutes, I don't know how.
It's just
Um,
the problem is that they just wear you down and suffocate you, don't they? City if they're passing, they just knacker you out, and then they just eventually just find a hole in the defense and
yeah,
pass it through with like a De Bruyne shot, and then it's like what he did against Newcastle, we just found that ball.
God,
So I know he just out of
that was
nowhere.
something else, wasn't it? What really
Yeah.
needs to happen is
Mm.
Barcelona need to hurry up and buy Bernardo Silva.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
maybe we'll start to see a little bit of some cracks in that Man City team.
Mm.
Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then then you got a free run at the title, Chris. If that
Look, I'm
happens,
just I'm saying, if we yeah, I don't know, you never know. Top four minimum, hopefully.
oh,
But
top four minimum. Pressure on Arteta for the first time ever.
well, I don't know. I think this is what they were planning. They were hoping. They were saying that if we got fourth last season, then it would have been a year ahead of our scheduled sort of. The process would have been a year ahead. So obviously this year is the Champions League push, and then next year will be the title winning team then.
You've heard it here
Yeah,
first,
it is.
ladies and gentlemen, on Big Sam's Long Balls podcast. Next year is the title push for Arsenal. Chris somehow has access to
I've inside
Arteta's
knowledge.
project
Eddie's in
plans.
my ear. Yeah, yeah. I know it. It's
Right
fine.
then. Well, that's all the games
Yeah,
covered for today.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on,
Good.
Chris.
No, it's okay. That's great. Doing quick predictions for tomorrow for Wolves Newcastle. Wolves
Oh,
Newcastle game.
I think I put
Oh, we
two
did
two
one
for
of
that one. I did
Oh,
initially think Newcastle were going to win, but I think Wolves being at home, I
hmm.
think a draw. How about you?
I'm gonna go 1-0 Newcastle. Yeah,
Could be a safe one. That could be.
could
Who
be.
are we playing? Is it Forest
Got
Spurs?
Forest Spurs later. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Spurs.
I'm going 2-1 Forest. There's always,
I like it.
a shock result.
Yeah,
Last
Forest at
game,
home as well.
Forest at home,
Mm,
under the lights,
mm,
atmosphere's rocking. I wouldn't want to play there. Not last game
mm.
of the weekend.
No, what about West? No, Aston Villa West Ham. Well, do you remember what you went for that? Did you go for a draw? Like
Oh, I did go for a draw. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think West Ham are bottom, aren't they?
yeah, they are. Yeah, I can't
Shocker
remember.
and Villa are pretty poor as well. So I think I went for a really boring 1-1 draw where neither manager could
Yeah,
afford to lose that one. So yeah,
yeah.
draw.
Gerard could be. I think Gerard could be in trouble if they get anything
Yeah,
but
me
a win.
too. I think that they spent
So
some good money, so they need to
yeah,
see some top
but
six. I think was the ambition.
yeah,
Um,
they should be.
they look
Yeah,
miles off that at the moment. So
all
yeah,
right, 2-1 Villa.
gonna go 2-1
Watkins,
Villa.
Watkins and Ings.
Watkins. Yep. Yeah, Watkins scored the other day, didn't he? So
Yeah,
it would be on a scoring run. Well, that is it.
that's
That's
it.
the games covered from today. Predictions for tomorrow as well. So
We'll be back
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Back.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Subscribe to Big Sam's Long Balls podcast. Our tiny little channel was growing. It's great to see. It's great to see so many of you.
Road to 100, Dan. Road to
Road to
100.
100. Yeah, road.
We're almost there.
We are we are nearly there. So yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, thank you guys for getting involved and joining the channel. Comment down below your thoughts on today's games and let us know your predictions for tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.
guys. See ya.
Bye.